Streams live. Whey.
We are live. Welcome everyone to our third, but technically first podcast that we're doing on YouTube for football fans in recovery. My name's Russell Sprout.
And my name is KP Nut.
KP Nut. We talk about recovery, our love of the Blues, and football, in general, but mainly the fact that myself and Christian are in recovery, and we wouldn't be sat here today had we not got clean and sober. That's the truth of it. So it's a pleasure to get this going, and we hope, as long as we keep turning up, it does well.
100%
How are you today, mate?
Pardon?
How are you today, mate?
Yes, good, mate. Yeah. Looking forward to Saturday with the memorial for TF, Trevor Francis.
Trevor Francis.
Yeah, slightly disappointed that ticket sales haven't been what they could have been. Nevertheless, people have got to go on holiday, and I'm fully aware that there's three home matches in the space of 10 or 11 days. So, it is what it is, but I'm sure there'll be a good turnout there, and looking forward to seeing the statue.
Yeah, who are those matches then? So Forest, Sheffield.
You got Forest, then we got Ipswich at home, and then we got Sheffield United in the the League Cup, or what is it, whatever cup it is these days? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Milk Bottle Cup, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The milk cup. A picture earlier. The Milk Cup, yeah. I saw a picture earlier. Somebody outside the ground took a picture of the Francis statue. Yeah. Looked silver. It was lying down. It was on the back of a truck. And it looked silver. And all I can make out is maybe that one leg was behind him, so it looked like he was running. And it looked like one arm in the air, but
oh dear,
normally like that, isn't he?
He's normally got his both hands up. I mean, that's why I put this shirt on today. Like, this is what I'll be wearing on Saturday. I think it's 1978-79 kit. It's weird because it's a bit strange because Francis left in 78. I'm sure he left in 78, and I was born in 78. So this is what I'll be wearing. Looking forward to it.
So he left because of you. Yeah, it should be a good game. The Ipswich one is not worrying me, but it's a big game, right?
Yeah.
It's a huge game. And, I remember the start of last season, I think we played Reading and we drew 1-1 at home. And everybody was a bit quiet because it wasn't what we'd hoped. And, we know how the season turned out. But it's the first game. It's under the lights. It's on a Friday night.
Yeah.
It opens the championship. It's a lot of pressure. Yeah. It's new players.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, going back to the Reading game, I took the missus. We actually left with 5 minutes to go, and obviously Alfie May scored a last-minute penalty. So that's taught me this year not to leave early, but I keep doing it. I don't know why. I keep making the same mistakes, and I keep on fucking repeating them. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, it's a big game. There's a lot of pressure on them, and obviously from the fans as well and the board, because they want them to come in the top six. I spoke to a lot of Blues fans, and quite a few of them are like, if they don't finish in the top six, it's not a good season. So yeah, you're right. There is a lot of pressure there. And I just hope, for everyone's sake, that they get off to a decent start, because we don't want to be getting smashed 3 or 4-0 on Friday night. But as you said, it's under the lights. It's Friday night, boisterous crowd, but also we have to hold on to that record, unbeaten in the league all season, mate. I mean, that's some record.
It is a record, yeah. And like you say, it is a lot of pressure for them. I feel like, if we get a win, you couldn't ask for anything more, could you? You get a win on that first game against the promotion favourites. I think Ipswich are the favourites to go straight back up. I mean, they've just spent 20 million on a Middlesbrough lad, which is like a record for the championship.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough game. They play some good football, Ipswich. You know,
it is going to be a tough game. I'm not expecting too much apart from a clean sheet and 3 points. That'll do nicely.
Don't want much.
Bit of sarcasm.
So let's talk a bit about recovery, because, like we said at the beginning, that's the reason me and you are here. Full stop. And like we did that podcast a few weeks ago where we discussed that actually me and you wouldn't have met. Well, we wouldn't have spoken, or even if we'd like faced each other at some point in our lives, we would have just gone, he ain't my cup of tea. He ain't for me, my sort of person. 100%. But because of recovery, everything changes, doesn't it?
Exactly. I mean,
what's changed for you in your recovery?
I mean, if I'm honest, like I've probably said it before, that I haven't actually got a season ticket because I gave away my season ticket about 6 or 7 years ago when I was flat out taking drugs. So it's only really last season that I started coming back again. And I'm a passionate Birmingham City supporter. It's in my blood, and addiction to drugs took that away from me. It took my passion away from me. So not only has recovery given me my family and a new family as well, it's also given me my passion back for football, Birmingham City. So I have a lot to be grateful for recovery. And like you said, if it wasn't for recovery, we wouldn't have met. And, it starts with recovery. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be here now, 100%. Yeah,
I mean, it takes a lot of work, doesn't it? I wish I could say to people, it's really easy recovery. Just go and do it, let go, and that's the answer. You know, I wish it was as simple as that. But after trying again and again and again and relapsing and again, it took a lot of effort to, one, stay around and keep trying. Do you know what I mean? Because the shame and the guilt that follows me because I keep letting people down, it's haunting. It's really painful. So recovery is a lot of work. That's what I find. It's easy to go through the way I did it, so when I talk about the steps, that's the way I did it. So when I went through the steps, I can get through them quick. That's fine. But I'm still left with me. And that's not what's the solution to that? Because drugs were the solution to that for all my life. Yeah. And then I'm left with me. What do I do with that? That's emotional stuff. That's like, how do you heal from that? How did you?
I mean, fucking hell. I mean, I don't think there's any one answer, really. I mean, all I can talk about is my experience of it. And I went into treatment centres, and, the first thing they said to me was, you've got to get honest. The second thing they said to me was, you've only got to change one thing. And I thought, fucking great. And then they said everything. And I thought, fucking hell. So that's how I did. And eventually I did, you know what I mean? Like, not by choice either. Like, I lost my marriage, I lost my house, lost my job, I lost my car. So that's how I came into recovery. Like, I hit rock bottom, and then I come into recovery. I had to lose all these things that I justified my using on. And you know what? When I look back and I think, if you'd have said to me, you'd stop taking drugs if you'd lost everything, I'd have taken it. That's how desperate I was to put the drugs down. But I think you're right in saying, like, I tried for 30 years to get a day clean, really, and I couldn't. And when I got a day clean, I realised after 90 days, it wasn't enough. I needed something else because I still felt shit. And like yourself, we've relapsed before, haven't we? And it's painful. It's a real painful thing to relapse on drugs. Yeah, but I think what this podcast is also about, it's about us giving our experiences of using and also in recovery as well, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there eventually that will be looking at us who might be using, who don't want to share things or whatever. So I think it's important for us to share where we've been and what we've done to people that are out there who are also experiencing what we've been through. Do you know what I mean? And we can maybe help them.
Yeah, I think you're really right about that. When I look back to first time I asked someone for help, I was meek. you know what I mean? I was quiet and I had a squeaky little voice and I was afraid of everything. And I was saying, please help. And I couldn't share in a meeting, or I was, do you know what I mean? Paranoid about everything.
Yeah.
And I'm so far from that, from being that person.
Yeah.
I just can't believe the change in it in such a short amount of time. I mean, they say the problem, you know, my problem is crack mainly. The problem, cocaine and crack, is we get well really quickly.
Yeah.
So we forget how bad it was because everything's good again. And that's my experience. That is my experience. That's why I kept relapsing, because I was all right again.
100%, Russell. I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head then, because you do get clean. And also, you know, like my like crack cocaine brought me to my knees, but it happens quickly because it wasn't that long ago, probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago. Like I was 9.5 stone. Do you know what I mean? I was skinny, I was paranoid. And what I used to do was I used to weigh myself, and it used to torture me, and I couldn't believe that I was less than 10 stone. So I'll be honest with you, I used to put clothes on. I used to put tracksuit bottoms, jeans on, shorts on, t-shirts, sweaters, jackets, and then I used to go weigh myself. I did, and it's absolutely bizarre. And I go weigh myself, and I justify my using because I'll be over 10 stone. Whereas deep down, I knew that I was only just over 10 stone because I put all these clothes on. Bizarre. And it wasn't that long ago, probably 6 months clean, 9 months clean. I didn't weigh myself at all because it was a trigger. And I weighed myself, and I was 14.5 stone. I was really happy. I was like, oh, you know, 14.5 stone. I'm a proper man now. I remember going to the freezer to get some ice cream out, and I was about to get some ice cream, and that little voice comes into my head. It was like, well done, Christian. You're 14.5 stone, you fat cunt. You know, you're going to have a fucking heart attack now. So it's gone from one extreme of being too skinny to then my head telling me that I'm too fat, I'm too big, and I'm going to die of a heart attack. And it's just, you know, it's just always that battle in it. Do you know what I mean? For me, it is the battle of, it's going from one extreme to the other, from the blind to the fucking ridiculous. It's, you know.
I know exactly what you mean. I mean, it was actually the opposite for me. So when I was in the madness, I thought me looking as skinny as I did was, as I used to put it, heroin chic, and it meant that I looked good. And it weren't until I'd come out of rehab and I was like, what the fuck? Because they took a picture when I went in, took a picture when I went out, and it was two different people. But yeah, like you say about your head, it will lie to you. It will tell you things that you don't expect. And I'm not going to lie about it, mate. I still get that in my head. I still get thoughts of, I'll have stuff come on my head, and it'll go, might as well just kill yourself. And I'll be like, where's that come from?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might have just finished a day at uni, I'm studying and stuff. Just go, you might as well just kill yourself. You're not worth it. And I still get that. Painful, mate. And like, I wish recovery just went, here, I will take all that away from you, and now you're well. But it doesn't work like that, does it?
No. I mean, it's just like a tribute that we can come on here and be so honest, because I get the same. Like, we call them intrusive thoughts, and I'll tell you what, mine are just as bad. Like, I often walk the dog over the field here, and we have to go over like a motorway bridge. Most days when I'm walking over this motorway bridge, the car's going fast underneath us. My head will often say to me, I wonder what would happen if you jumped over there. And then I can find myself having like a row, thinking, and then I'll have another thought that'll say, knowing your luck, you'd probably just break your leg. That was all. Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, I'm coming up to 2 years clean, and I'm thinking, why do I still get these intrusive thoughts? But do you know what it is? It's when you talk about them and you realise that you're not the only one that gets them. Do you know what I mean? And that's what we're here for. I think, Russell, like, you've been honest about what your head tells you, and I have. I mean, it's just like, for me, it goes back to the first day of when I got a day clean. Like, I don't listen to my head, especially my first thought. So, you know, when my head will say to me, I wonder what it'd be like to jump off the motorway bridge. Deep down, I know what it's going to be like, and then it's trying to justify it by telling me that I'd only break my leg. But it's like, I just don't act on that first thought anymore. Do you know what I mean? That first thought of let's go smoke crack, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm the same as you, Russell. If I put a substance in me, anything, alcohol, whatever, spliff, crack, coke, I'm gone.
Yeah.
Also, on the other hand to that, I don't really have to put a substance in me for my behaviours to come out. Do you know what I mean? And
Be a bit mental. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you touched on about hitting your rock bottom. Would you say? I mean, I'm thinking of people that might watch this or hear it in the future. Do you have to hit rock bottom to get recovery? That's my question.
That's a really good question. I mean, obviously, I personally think that you do. You have to hit your rock bottom. I think everyone's got their own rock bottom. And if I'm honest, I had hundreds of rock bottoms. I had thousands of rock bottoms, you know. Just a few examples, like, you know, I smoked crack in the car with my mom, who was crying, pleading with me not to smoke it outside a treatment centre that I just paid money to go into. Been taken hostage by drug dealers in my own car. These were my rock bottoms. And do you know what? I still carried on using after that. So for me,
weren't enough, was it?
Yeah, it wasn't enough at the time, but I think time's a healer, and the more days I got clean or whatever. And for like me, it was a moment of clarity. It was just something that happened one day while I was using, and I sort of come out of myself, and I could look at myself smoking crack at a bus stop in Chelmsford Wood. And it was a moment of clarity that I just grabbed and held on to. And from then, I have not used drugs or alcohol again, because I know where it takes me. I can rewind the tape.
Yeah.
And it's horrible. I mean, it's like being a hostage in like your own head. So yeah, like, I think we do know how other addicts feel. But I think it's, you know, like we justify it, don't we? I mean, I know from my point of view, I justified my using for many years because I had my own house, I had a wife, I had a marriage, I had a good job, I had a nice car, I had money. So I used to justify myself, and being over 10 stone, even with loads of clothes on, all these little things. I used to justify my using on. And for me personally, I had to lose all them before I could get well. I don't think everyone has to do that. Do you know what I mean? I think it's down, like it's personal to the individual themselves. But I just think that you know, it's definitely good to talk about our experiences, because other people are probably going through what we've been through. Do you know what I
mean? Which is why we're here, right? So, like the rock bottom thing, I'd hit rock bottom and then I'd get a shovel out and I'd dig deeper. That's how I would see it. Like, there wasn't enough of a rock bottom. There was always deeper. And each time my experience would show me that it always got worse. But like you just said, I couldn't rewind the tape, because the next day, after wanting to die, after ruining relationships, after stealing from my friends, after lying to everybody I know, I'd forget and think, you know, it'll be different. It'll be all right this time. I'm only going to have one. It's going to be an easy night. That's just absolute mental behaviour, right?
100%, yeah. It's just like, you know, like for me, it was just like not just making mistakes, but just I kept on repeating the same mistakes like you. Like, you know,
yeah.
The amount of times I said to myself, I'm never ever going to do that again, after being taken a hostage in my own car, you know, and then next day I'm doing it again. It is. It's just, it's so hard. You know, it's quite hard to comprehend. But I think for me, I think you have to, first of all, accept. I think accepting that you're an addict, because for many years, Russell, I mean, I'd smoked £300 worth of crack in a day, and I didn't think I was a drug addict because I wasn't using heroin. I wasn't injecting heroin into myself. So in my head,
wasn't on a park bench.
Yeah, like I'm not on a park bench. Yeah. I'm driving around in an Audi. I've got a nice house in a nice area. But the point is, it was a fucking lie, and I had to lose, give away, and sell what I had. And like, my personal experience is that money almost killed me. You know, I didn't have to go and rob, meat from supermarkets or old ladies at cash points. I didn't have to do that. So having money probably kept me out of jail to a certain extent, but it's just as bad, robbing drug dealers. I mean, fucking hell. I mean,
it's behaviour, right?
Yeah, it's just horrific, and that's what I went down to. That was another rock bottom. That's when I first went into the treatment centre because I had no choice. The only way I knew how to get money was to rob drug dealers. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, so I had to go into treatment.
I mean, behaviours and then repeating that behaviour, that's insanity. Yeah, that is the definition 100%. Of insanity. Expecting a different result by doing the same thing. It's always the same, and we do it again and we do it again. The one thing I hear in recovery a lot, and it's always stuck with me, and I find it the hardest, and I find it hard on a daily basis, is when they say the best thing about recovery is you get your emotions back, and the worst thing about recovery is you get your emotions back. And that is so true. What do you do with them? Because I remember when I got clean and that, they were like a flood of emotion for me. Things I didn't understand, feelings I never knew I had. And they all hit me at once, and I didn't know where to put them, how to name them or categorize them, where to put them in my head. What do I do with it? I've never had to use it before because I've continually numbed myself.
Yeah, totally. I mean, my experience was going into treatment centres. Like I went into 4, and in the last one, I had to sort of accept that I was going to lose my house, lose the wife, because obviously they wanted me to go back to work and to continue to pay for the house and whatever. And I had to make that choice and sacrifice all of the outside things, and go into a dry house. I mean, I thought I was too good to go into a dry house. I thought I ain't going into a dry house, but after being in treatment, I realised it was probably the best place for me. So all my feelings come out and start in a dry house. So again, I was in an artificial environment, really. And for me, like, you don't have to go into a treatment centre to get clean. Like my partner didn't. She did it like the harder way. The only difference about going into a treatment centre for me really was it speeded the processor. Do you know what I mean? And that can be a bad thing as well, because I remember the first time I relapsed, I was flying. I was running before I could walk, and like I ended up relapsing. But yeah, like, it's all about experiences, and I just think that what people are going through, I was lucky to have people that had experienced what I'd been through and what I was going through. So that does definitely help, and it does, like it said to me that I wasn't the only one that had these thoughts in my head. Other people had them as well. So,
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I get that. I think you just mentioned your missus and that, and I often think to myself, did I need to spend that much money to go into rehab just to be told, go to this place? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I wonder if I needed to ever go to rehab had I just found the rooms. But and you spoke about your missus. It's like, is there, like, we know men and their emotions anyway, and there's a big push on men need to be more vulnerable and more open and stuff like that. But why do we find that men have to burn everything down before they're ready to open up? I've done it 100 times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough one. I mean, I don't know the answer to that, Russell. Like, I think that's a big part of my own recovery and of life. Sometimes there isn't an answer, and I think a lot of us, especially addicts, are always looking for the answer. I'm always looking for the answer, and sometimes you just have to accept that there is no answer to it. You know what I mean? Like, it's personal to, like, the individual. We all use differently, and we all recover differently as well. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to go into treatment. Like you can recover however way you want to recover. But I would stress that you do need to be around like-minded people. I mean, for me, if I was still knocking around with with the bad company that I used to knock around with, I wouldn't have got clean. Do you know what I mean? I personally had to be taken out of society numerous times to get clean, and I always got clean. I just didn't stay clean.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I've said that many times. Like every time I've gone through the steps, I've got clean. I just ain't stayed clean. That's been the problem. You get me through the steps, brilliant. I'm clean for a bit, and that's no good. And like you say, like you can go back to your old areas or friends that you were with, or just hanging around in the, not changing anything. If you don't change anything, then you're just going to get the same results.
Yeah.
Of course. And
nothing changes.
Nothing changes, right? So, like, but there is a big thing about it's not people, places, or things, right? That's not the reason I'm a drug addict. It's not because of John down the road who sells me crack. It's not because I live in the middle of fucking Chelmsley Wood. It's not because, do you know what I mean? It's not those things. It's actually, it's eternal, right? It's me that's the fucking problem. So until I'm ready to realize that actually half this stuff ain't helping me and something needs to change, and like you say, speak to people who think the same or are in recovery and have been there, because that's what it comes down to. Speaking to someone who goes, oh yeah, I mean, I remember speaking to my sponsor and doing my step 4, and he kind of laughed at me, and he was a bit like, I've done worse than that, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I've just told you my deepest, darkest secrets. And he was like, oh, yeah.
I mean, there's always someone that's done worse than you. I mean, I thought I've done some bad things, but it's all personal to like the individual, you know, like robbing a bank or robbing a drug dealer, you know, like someone might have just, you know, like some of the things I've heard. I mean, walking over a family member that's just had a heart attack and taken the wallet out. I mean, it's horrific, isn't it? And it's, you know, like it's the addicts, you know, like it is for me. It is a disease, you know. I've always seen, you know, alcohol to me is the same. Like if I have 1 pint, 2, you know, I'll end up back where I started from. Do you know what I mean? So I have to be quite careful. I'm you know, like. You know, but there are, you know, there are other issues, like you said, people, places, and things as well. You know, like I have to accept that I'm powerless to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it always comes back to me. Like, as long as I keep my side of the road clean, that's all I can do. You know, just try and be a better version of myself. And yeah, like I have days when I don't want to get up and I'm depressed, and I have to dig deep. You know, like gratitude is a massive part of my recovery, because I think it is because I was so ungrateful beforehand. Do you know what I mean? So I think when you do a bit of work on yourself, you sort of realize what you weren't good at. Do you know what I mean? Like no gratitude, no empathy, and things like that. And you sort of work on them. Do you know what I mean? So gratitude for me is just like, I'm lucky to be here. That's my first thing that I think that I'm lucky to be here, and I'm lucky to be alive.
I woke up.
Yeah. It's like having a
second
chance at life.
Yeah. Gratitude was the first thing that came. I couldn't believe that I'd wake up in the morning and I didn't have to go and use drugs. Firstly, do you know what I mean? And we talk about gratitude lists in the rooms and that. Personally, I don't do them because I think they become too self-explanatory, if you like. If you've got a sponsor, you say, do me a gratitude list. I'm grateful for the blue sky, and I'm grateful for my kids, and I'm great. Do you know what I mean? And then I'm like, don't your kids piss you off then? Well, yeah. And I was, so which bit are you grateful for? When you say, I'm grateful for fucking being alive, I'm grateful that my washing machine works and I can afford water, then, but what it turns into is, I'm grateful for music, and I'm grateful to have, it just gets a bit, being grateful is living in it, right? Every fucking moment, every moment that you can.
100%. I'm the same, Russell. Like, I don't need to write a gratitude list because I wake up every day and I know what I'm grateful for. It's like the diary as well. Like the September 10 is like, you know, you do lot of people write a
Inventory.
diary, don't they? Yeah, a personal inventory. And I started off doing it, but now it's in me. Like, I know. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's in my head.
When
So
I've
I don't need to
acted
write it
badly.
down.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, like, it's all of like the other steps, you know, like step 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I mean, we actually work them every day of our lives without even knowing it. Do you know what I mean? But you know, like, it's just
about
different
being
levels.
a better person, right?
Yeah, it's about being a better version of yourself every day. Like, I try and be a bit better today than I was yesterday. Do you know what I mean? And it is, you know, like for me personally, it's about you know, showing empathy to others, even if it's just saying morning to someone in the park, or asking my mom if she wants a cup of tea, or whatever it is, or trying to do things for the people, whether it's making the dogs dinner, picking the shit up in the garden, whatever it is. It's just, you know, like, it sounds mad, but doing the opposite is what my head would tell me. Do you know what I mean? Like, my head will tell me to do loads of fucking stupid things, but I don't have to act on them anymore. I don't have to act on that first thought. Do you know what I mean? I wonder what it'd be like.
Yeah, but it won't be going pick up the shit in the garden.
Yeah, like, what it'd be like to jump off the motorway bridge. I know what it's going to be like, and then it'll try and justify it by saying you'd only break your leg and things like that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, I am looking forward to the season. Changing the subject, it's going to be, yeah. I can't wait to get to some of these away games. I think I found out that they have 200 tickets left for Blackburn, so that's almost a sellout now. Yeah. And also, like, the night games at Blues, you know, you can't beat a night game at St Andrews, can you? Do you know what I mean?
No, it rocks. It really. Have you seen any of our pre-season games? I've been a bit underwhelmed, to be honest.
But they're pre-season games, didn't they? You know, they're pre-season games. Like, I think we beat Seville, but they were like 50% fit. I don't think they matter really. I just think let the manager do what he's paid for. You know, like, it's going to be tough for him. I mean, I think Blues are the third favourites to go up. If they just say, like, if we give Ipswich a spanking 3 or 4-0, if you look at the bookies, we'll probably be favourites then. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy. But it's a really hard league to get out of.
Yeah. What happens if we get spanked 3 or 4-0 though? Because all eyes are on Davis, right? They're not on the squad. We all think we've got the squad, so all eyes are on the manager, man.
100%. And
it's his big season.
100%. I mean, he's never managed in this league before, has he? He's only ever had one season, and he won the league. So from that respect, he's a brilliant manager. But this championship, it's not for the faint-hearted, mate. Top can beat bottom. Often, everyone's still got something to play for. Last game of the season. You know, I think, for me personally, I think if Blues can come in the top 10, maybe sneak in the top 6, I think it'd be a decent season, because the following season, I think, but also, like, the players have got to gel together, haven't they? Do you know what I mean? I mean, Ipswich.
I think that's what. Yeah. Go on. Sorry.
Ipswich are like the team that they come up from League One, they come up from the Championship, but straight to the Premiership, comes straight back down again. You know what I mean? But who knows? I think money's massive in it though. I think Blues have got the finances to do some damage. And obviously, he wants.
That's what I was going to say.
Wants to be in the Premiership before we get the new stadium, which is fair enough, isn't it?
Yeah. That's what I was going to say, and that's what, to be fair, Ipswich have got over all of us. You know, making it to the Premier League and then getting parachute payments and having a half decent squad. Actually, they're the ones with the money to be able to spend on players and stuff. I haven't checked their I haven't checked any signings that they've had or anything. I know Southampton have just sold Ramsdale, is it?
Yeah.
I think they just sold him, yeah. Or a keeper's gone. Some, I think Burnley have sold their keeper. But the Championship, best league in the world, mate. Most exciting league in the world.
Yeah.
Premier League's like, if you like watching top 4 teams play, the Championship is, like you say, there's 5 games to go and you're in the bottom half, but you can still make the playoffs. Do you know what I mean? It's mental.
And also, I think as well, football in general, in like England, if you notice, the bottom 3 in the Premiership come down, go back up. It's always the same 3 coming down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I just think it needs maybe like Leeds this year, they can get promotion to the Premier League and try and stay up. And, but I think it's all to do money, and I do hope as well, that if Blues do get promotion, I do think that they've got the backing, the finances to stay up, because I think I heard in terms of the finances, they're like the 17th most richest club, or got the most finances,
like revenue wise. Revenue, mental.
Off the field, it's looking good.
League One.
But like Brian Clough said, you've got to play on the field. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I love it, mate. I'm really excited. I'm so excited for Ipswich. So you're going to be down at the Forest game?
I'm going to go
the unveiling of the statue.
I'm going to get there early. Try and get a nice.
Going to do us a little video, yeah.
Yeah, a little video or something. Yeah. Then I'm going to, just I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while, hasn't it? Do you know what I mean? It was such a, what's the word? It was so such a climax to the season. Up and down, wasn't it? An emotional roller coaster. I went to Peterborough away, then Barry Fry give us the extra 1,600 tickets, and it was a brilliant night. That was, we won promotion, and then on the Saturday we all went to Wembley for the big day out, and we got turned over, and it was
up there, mate.
Typical Blues, wasn't it? Up and down, and
that's kind of what I love about Blues.
Yeah,
we can beat the top and we lose to the bottom, and that is respect.
Yeah, I mean it is, but just really, really looking forward to it, mate. Just buzzing.
Brilliant.
So I just hope they get off to a good start. I just think if we get turned over 3 or 4 now on the first game of the season, the Boo Boys will be out without a shadow of a doubt.
Where have they come from?
Boo Boys were always there. Birmingham City is a massive club. Do you know what I mean? We've got loads of supporters, and in a way, I think they're entitled to. They pay their hard-earned money to go and watch the game. So I personally believe everyone is entitled to their opinion. You might not have to agree with it, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. It's like that saying, isn't it? That saying is that opinions are like arseholes. Everyone's got one. Some of them stink.
And on that note, I think that went quite well, mate. And I'm looking forward to next week. I hope we can build this, buddy.
Yeah, I think we're both passionate about the Blues, passionate about our own recovery. It's good to talk if you're addicts or even like mental health. I think we've both been through depression, anxiety. It's all around us, and I think these days people are getting more aware of them. And I think especially for blokes as well. I've said it before. It's quite hard for a bloke to like from my experience was to actually talk. Do you know what I mean? But I think talking really does help, and we are passionate about this, and I just think that we're doing it for the right reasons. We aren't doing it for any other reason than to help others, help ourselves, and just try and get a community going. But like the comments, there's been no comments, has there? Maybe that's because no one's even watching us. Do you know what I mean?
I think there's 2 watching, but I haven't seen any comments come up. No. But that's all right. It's our first YouTube.
Them 2 that are watching, Russell, that's me and you.
That's me and you, yeah. No, because it was one for ages.
Was it? I don't know.
Yeah.
People. It doesn't matter because it'll just grow, I think, yeah. I was speaking to someone else earlier. I'm not going to mention his name, but someone that I saw at a Blues do, and he's also in recovery. I was speaking to him earlier, and we were saying, like I was saying to him a bit further down the line, I'd like to get like-minded people on. And,
yes, mate.
Share their own experiences, like the two things we've all got in common is recovery, being sober or clean, and Birmingham City.
I mean, so even if it's not Birmingham City as well, even if you've got people coming on recovery and football, that's the thing.
Fans, Leeds fans, Cardiff fans, West Ham.
B6?
I don't know about B6.
We'll talk about it. We'll
we'll have to talk about that one, mate. You know what I mean?
All right, mate.
Okay, mate. Nice one.
Yeah, keep right on, yeah?
At the Blues.
See you next week.
Bye, mate. Bye-bye.